Hello there, this is Ed McCarty. Welcome to Hoofing It Podcast with everything horses and livestock.
Hi, this is Melissa. I'm with Hoofing It Podcast with everything horse and livestock. And today we're with Riley Olson at the Agape Ranch. And he is going to tell us all about this program, you guys. It's amazing here. I can't tell you how great it has been to spend the day with Riley today. Let's talk about this ranch and tell everybody what's going on here and what your program is.
Yeah, you bet. Well, of course, we take in some troubled boys, teenage boys. They're age 14 to 18. And so we have them here, and most of them are inner city kids. Most of them never seen a horse or been around horses. And so we use a horse as a tool. And it's a horse that opens up their hearts and their minds for learning again. And our goal is to teach them the Bible, teach them about Jesus Christ, teach them about the Lord, try to help them get back on the right path. And the horse creates opportunity for work. It creates opportunity to have responsibility again, and to love something, and to be attached to something, and they seem to respond really well. So that's kind of our goal here. We have an actual working ranch, and so it's not just we have cattle that we work. We have calves that we brand.
Awesome.
They learn how to wrestle calves. We rope and work cattle horseback here, and they're given a lot of responsibility, and they seem to respond very well to it. But again, our goal is to use that as an opportunity to teach them about biblical principles to help them succeed in life.
Well, I talked to a few of them at the fence, and I told them, I could see that their leadership skills were just amazing with those horses, and that the horses were, following them. I said, you guys are making great leaders, so I see that you're actually teaching them leadership and how to make good decisions.
Yeah, that's right. I'm glad you brought that up, because that's one thing that I love working with young men. And young men, they are not given the opportunity to lead anymore. It seems like they struggle with finding their role as a leader. But they should be leaders. They should try to work themselves into a position of leadership. But we teach them here that they lead the horse, but it's servant leadership. It's not a strong, forceful, my way or the highway. It's the idea of that horse follows you because you serve it. You're the one cleaning its feet. You're the one feeding it. You're the one brushing its hair. You're the one doing the work, and that horse needs to follow you. And we hope that carries on in their lives, whether it's in a marriage or working for a company. But they learn leadership, and they learn that I can get people to follow me by serving them, by taking care of and meeting their needs, inconveniencing myself for others. That's one of our big things we teach here, is how to inconvenience yourself for other people, so other people are not inconvenienced.
Right. And we talked a little bit about trust, that the horses trust them.
All right.
So I saw you out there teaching them about trust and how to have confidence as they were going through some of the tougher training program parts that you were doing.
Right. Yeah. It's these boys. They themselves struggle a lot with trust. They've come from broken homes. They've come from possibly abused situations. Fathers have left them. Most of our boys hurt for a father figure in their home, and so they struggle with trust themselves. And so the horses provide a new outlook on that for them, and they realize that they have to make a connection with their horse and teach their horse to trust them. And so they ask them to walk over a tarp, or they ask them to walk over a crick, or they ask them to accept a saddle to be put on them. And they do all the work from the ground up, saddling to riding to crossing creeks and crossing tarps, and all the work that they do, they have to earn that horse's trust. But sometimes they have to learn trust on their own first, and they've had some hard situations where they don't want to trust anything. But we as people, we have to be able to trust, and even when we've been hurt, we have to be able to trust again. And so teaching a horse how to trust them, they realize the responsibility of being stable, of being consistent, of making sure that they are putting the needs of the horse before their own. And I think it opens up their heart to start trusting again.
Hey, Melissa, let's take a quick break.
Thank you for joining us today. Our podcast is sponsored by
Better Equine. And Clinch Realty with Janet Turney.
And now we're back.
And forgiveness too. You work on forgiveness as well.
Right. And God's blessed us with such great horses here, Melissa. When I came to work here about 10 years ago, I didn't know what type of horses we didn't have. We were just starting. We didn't know what kind of horses we should get, what bloodlines. I knew I wanted to stick with quarter horses, probably ranch type stuff, but I didn't know what bloodlines. And God has just miraculously provided bloodlines through generous people, and they've been just right. And I have learned that horses possess, some horses possess a characteristic that I never looked at before. I trained horses a lot of years before I came here, but that characteristic is forgiveness. And these boys, they don't do everything right when they first start because they're just learning to train themselves. But when these horses when the boys mess up several times, these horses see that they're not getting it right. There is a characteristic about some of these colts of forgiveness. So they just forgive. Okay, try it again. Okay, try it again. And until the boys get it right, and then the horse is fine. But there's a lot of horses that don't have a lot of forgiveness. If you don't do it right the first time or two, they get kind of grouchy about it. And so God's given us some wonderful horses here to exemplify forgiveness. And those boys, that's really one of the things that they need, is to let go of bitterness and learn how to forgive themselves, because people aren't perfect, and everybody makes mistakes, and people in their past have made mistakes just like they have, and there'll be people in their future that'll make mistakes.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you're teaching them about forgiveness as well, and I think that's just amazing. I just loved what you did today. It was amazing. I saw it with my own eyes,
Yeah.
and I saw that the young men were very polite, very kind, and they seemed really happy here. I could see that you could see confidence in them, Mm-hmm. You could tell the difference between, and I saw a couple new ones too that you were helping build confidence.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, it was great to be here today. And tell me too, how many kids are allowed to be at the facility?
Here in our horsemanship class, we max out at 20. So in our school, we have about 80 kids, and then but out of those 80, we will choose 20, or they kind of choose it themselves, and they go through a safety program to learn a little bit about livestock, and then if they can keep up with school and they want to get into the horse program, we can take 20 into our horse program. So that's about as many as we have at a time, and they'll start a horse. That horse will be assigned to them, and they'll keep that horse all the way up through until our production sale.
Okay, now let's talk about that production sale. So how often do you have them, and when? What time of the year?
Yeah, once a year we have a production sale, and all the colts are raised right here on our facilities here in our ranch. We have about 50 brood mares, and we have several studs, and so that we raise these horses, and it's called the Ride Prosperously production sale. It will be in the fall. We ride 2-year-olds, and so most of them are 2-year-olds. So we'll sell in the fall, September 16th and 17th this year. We also will put on a horsemanship clinic, and Kurt Pate comes and helps us with that clinic.
Cool.
So he'll be here with that, and we'll sell the horses at an auction style sale, and whatever they bring, they sell for. We have no reserve prices. But the boys get to show off all the work they did, and they have an opportunity to just showcase their horse.
Oh, that is so cool. Yeah. That's so cool. Well, how does someone get signed up for the program?
Well, we have, you can go online. You can find us on Agape Ranch Ministries. You can find us at Agape Boarding School. And we have, and find out all the information there. You can call me personally, and my phone number is 307-949-0602. And you can just get a hold of me, send me a text, give me a call. You can email us at agapehorse@gmail.com.
Okay.
And we'd be happy to get in touch with anyone we can.
All right. So. Well, thank you so much for today.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. It was an amazing experience.
Well, it was wonderful having you here. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Subscribe with us to follow our podcast, and please provide a review. We appreciate your positive feedback, which enables us to provide our free podcast to you. You can find links to the website at ehalnews.com.
Music provided by Ed Mahan. Copyrights by Everything Horses and Livestock.